Speaking English with Anna.
Hello, English learners. Welcome back to Speak English with Anna. This is your safe space to slow down, listen to real English conversations, and improve your listening skills naturally. I'm your host, Anna.
And I'm Mike. It is so good to be back here with you all. Today we have a really special, perhaps a bit deeper topic to discuss.
We do. We are going to talk about something that everyone struggles with sometimes, how to take care of yourself and set boundaries. But before we dive into the deep stuff, Mike, how are you feeling today? You look calm.
That is exactly the right word. I am feeling calm today. Actually, I want to share a tiny story with you, Anna. Something that happened to me this morning while I was grabbing my coffee.
Oh, I love stories. What happened?
Well, I was at the coffee shop, and it was the morning rush hour. It was busy, noisy, and everyone seemed stressed and in a hurry. I was standing in line, and there was a man behind me. He looked really anxious, checking his watch every 5 seconds.
Oh, I know that feeling. He was probably late for work.
Exactly. I had a big order, but he only had one small bottle of water in his hand. So I just turned around, stepped aside, and told him, "You go first."
That was very nice of you. How did he react?
It was interesting. He didn't say a big speech. He just looked at me, let out a big breath of relief, nodded his head, and whispered, "Thank you." It wasn't a big dramatic moment. It was just quiet kindness.
Quiet kindness. That is such a beautiful phrase, Mike. I think we often forget that kindness doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be a big performance. Sometimes it is just noticing that someone else is struggling and making space for them.
Right. And that moment made me feel good too. It reminded me that we can choose to be calm even when the world is chaotic.
I love that. And that connects perfectly to our topic today, because being kind to others starts with being kind to yourself. If you are always rushing and stressed, you can't offer that quiet kindness to anyone.
Exactly. Today, we're going to learn how to slow down and stop being a people pleaser.
But before we start this lesson, we have a small request for you. If you enjoy this kind of calm English practice and want to improve your vocabulary with us, please take a second to hit the subscribe button right now.
It really helps our channel grow and helps us create more videos for you. Also, we want to hear from you.
Yes, please leave a comment down below. Answer this question. What is one small thing that made you smile today? It could be a cup of tea, the sunshine, or anything simple.
We love reading your stories, so don't be shy. Write it in English.
Okay, Mike, are you ready to get started?
I am ready. Let's talk about self-love.
So, today's main topic is self-love. Now, Mike, I want to be honest with you. When I first heard the phrase self-love years ago, I didn't like it.
Really? Why not? It sounds like a nice thing.
Well, to me, it sounded a bit arrogant. I thought it meant looking in the mirror and saying, "Oh, look at me, I am the best, I am perfect."
Ah, I see what you mean. I think a lot of people have that reaction. There's a common misunderstanding that loving yourself is the same thing as being selfish.
Exactly, and that is the first thing we need to clear up today. The difference between self-love and selfishness. They are not synonyms. In fact, they are opposites.
Okay, let's break that down. How would you define being selfish?
Being selfish is when you only care about your own needs and you don't care if you hurt other people to get what you want. It's an attitude of me first, and I don't care about you.
Right, like eating the last slice of pizza without asking anyone else if they want it.
Yes, that is a perfect, simple example. That is selfish, but self-love is totally different.
So, what is the definition of healthy self-love?
Healthy self-love is simply self-respect. It means you treat yourself with the same kindness that you give to your friends. It means knowing that your health and your peace of mind are important.
That makes sense. So it is not about ignoring other people, it is about not ignoring yourself.
Precisely. Mike, have you ever heard the saying, you cannot pour from an empty cup?
You cannot pour from an empty cup. I have heard that. It's a great visual.
It is my favorite metaphor for this. Imagine you are a cup of tea. If you give all your tea to everyone else, your boss, your family, your friends, and you never refill your own cup, what happens?
You run dry. You have nothing left to give. And then, usually, you get grumpy and tired.
Exactly. And that is why self-love is actually generous. When you take time to rest, to sleep, to eat well, and to recharge, you are refilling your cup. And when your cup is full, you are a better friend, a better worker, and a better partner.
Wow, that really changes my perspective. So taking a break isn't lazy, it's actually maintenance.
Yes, it is essential maintenance. Think of it like charging your phone. You wouldn't let your phone die completely, right? You charge it so it keeps working. You need to do the same for yourself.
I love that. So, to all our listeners, if you take a nap today or say no to a party because you are tired, you are not being selfish. You are just recharging your battery.
Spot on, Mike. But I know it's easier said than done, especially for people like you who used to be a yes person.
Oh boy, you're right. Knowing the definition is easy, but actually doing it, that brings us to my biggest struggle. Saying yes when I really want to say no.
Let's talk about that next. The dangerous trap of being a yes person.
You know, Anna, this is the part that hits close to home for me. For a long time, I was the classic definition of a yes person.
A yes person. We hear that term a lot, but what did that actually look like in your daily life, Mike? Give us an example.
Well, for example, my phone was never on silent mode. If a friend messaged me at 11 p.m. with a problem, I would reply instantly. If a colleague asked me to do extra work on the weekend, I smiled and said, sure, no problem, even though I was already exhausted.
You were making yourself available 24/7, like a convenience store that never closes.
Exactly. I felt like I was on demand. I thought that by saying yes to everything, I was being a good person. I thought I was being helpful and nice.
That is a very common trap. We think being nice means never refusing a request. But let me ask you, how did you feel inside?
Honestly, I was burned out. I felt resentful. I would say yes with my mouth, but inside my head, I was screaming no.
That is the danger. When you say yes to someone else when you really want to say no, you're actually betraying yourself. You're prioritizing their comfort over your own mental health.
And there's another side to it too. I realized that because I always said yes, people stopped asking if I was busy. They just assumed Mike is always free.
That is a harsh lesson, but it is true. We teach people how to treat us. If you're always available, you teach people that your time has no value.
Your time has no value. Ouch. Hearing that hurts a little bit, but you're right. If I treat my time like it's cheap, everyone else will treat it like it's cheap too.
Exactly. This is why we need boundaries. Now, Mike, when you hear the word boundary, what image comes to your mind?
I imagine a big stone wall, like a fortress. It feels a bit cold, like I'm shutting people out.
I think many people feel that way, but I want to give you a new image. Boundaries are not walls, they're doors.
Doors. How is that different?
A wall is permanent. It keeps everyone out forever. That's isolation. But a door has a handle and a lock. You are the owner of the house. You get to decide when to open the door to let people in, and you get to decide when to close the door and lock it because you need to rest.
I really like that metaphor. So setting a boundary isn't saying go away forever. It's just saying the shop is closed for tonight. We open again tomorrow.
Perfect. It's simply saying, I care about you, but right now I have limited energy.
That feels much less scary. It feels like taking control rather than being mean.
It is. And the people who truly respect you will be okay with your door being closed sometimes. They want you to rest too.
But what about the people who don't like it? What if they get angry when I close the door?
That's a big fear. That leads us to the problem of validation. Why do we care so much if they get angry? Let's talk about that next.
Okay, Anna. I understand the door metaphor, but I have to be honest about why I keep the door open. I am terrified that if I say no, people won't like me anymore.
That is a very human fear, Mike. We are social creatures. We want to belong. But that fear comes from relying too much on external validation.
Validation. That is a word I hear a lot, but what does it actually mean in this context?
Validation is when you look outside of yourself to feel good. It's like you are waiting for someone else to stamp your passport and say, okay, you are a good person today.
Wow, waiting for a stamp. That is exactly how it feels. If my boss praises me, I feel great. If he says nothing, I feel terrible. My mood depends entirely on them.
Exactly. You're giving them the remote control to your emotions. And it's even harder nowadays with social media, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. It's embarrassing to admit, but if I post a photo on Instagram and it doesn't get many likes, I actually feel bad about myself. I think, am I boring? Do people hate me?
You are not alone in that. But think about how dangerous that is. You are letting a stranger with a smartphone decide your value. You're letting an algorithm decide if you are good enough.
When you say it like that, it sounds ridiculous. But how do I stop? How do I detach my feelings from their opinions?
You need to understand the difference between your performance and your worth.
Performance versus worth. Okay, break that down for me.
Your performance is what you do. Maybe you made a mistake at work, or maybe you cooked a bad dinner. That is your performance. It changes every day.
Okay, and my worth?
Your worth is who you are. It is your value as a human being, and that never changes. Even if you make a mistake, or if someone is angry with you, your value is exactly the same.
So I can have a bad day or be unpopular for a moment, but I'm still valuable.
Yes. I have a very powerful sentence, a mantra that I use when I feel insecure. Do you want to learn it?
Yes, please, I need it.
The sentence is, my worth is not up for discussion.
My worth is not up for discussion.
Say it like you mean it.
My worth is not up for discussion.
Exactly. It means your value is a fact. It is not a debate. It is not a negotiation. You don't need to prove you are worthy by working until you collapse. You are enough right now, just as you are.
That feels really strong. It feels like dropping an anchor in a storm.
Beautifully said. Be your own anchor, Mike. Don't float away just because the waves are rough.
I would try to remember that. But you know, even if I feel worthy, I still have this one annoying habit. I apologize for everything.
Ah, the sorry syndrome. That is a huge part of self-worth too. Let's talk about that. Now, Mike, since we are talking about self-worth, I want to address a specific habit. It is something many English learners do, but actually many native speakers do it too. It is the sorry habit.
Oh, I am definitely guilty of this. I think I say the word sorry about 50 times a day.
50 times? That is a lot of apologies. When do you use them?
Everywhere. If I have a question in a meeting, I say, sorry to bother you, can I ask something? If I'm walking down the street and someone bumps into me, I automatically say, oh, sorry. It's like a reflex.
That is fascinating, isn't it? Someone hits you and you apologize. Why do you think you do that?
I guess I feel like I'm in the way, like I'm an inconvenience just by being there. I want to be polite, so I apologize for taking up space.
That is the core of the problem. You are apologizing for existing. You are making yourself small so you don't disturb anyone.
Making myself small. That is exactly how it feels. I shrink myself.
Listen to me closely, Mike. Stop apologizing for taking up space. You have a right to be here. You have a right to ask questions. You have a right to walk on the sidewalk.
I know you are right, but it is such a hard habit to break. Do you have a trick to stop saying it?
Yes, I have a very simple but powerful trick. It is called the swap.
The swap? What do I swap?
You swap "I'm sorry" with "thank you."
How does that work? Can you give me an example?
Sure, Let's say you are 10 minutes late for a meeting with me. Instead of running in and saying, "Oh, so sorry I'm late, sorry," what can you say instead?
I could say, thank you for waiting for me.
Exactly. Do you feel the difference?
Wow. Yes. When I say sorry, I feel guilty and small. When I say thank you for waiting for me, I feel grateful and I am acknowledging your patience. It feels much more positive.
Correct. Let's try another one. Imagine you are talking to a friend and you feel like you're complaining too much about your bad day. Don't say, "Sorry for complaining."
I should say, thank you for listening to me.
Perfect. You turn a negative moment into a moment of connection. You are appreciating them instead of blaming yourself.
That is brilliant. It changes the whole vibe of the conversation.
Of course, if you actually make a mistake, like if you step on my foot, please say sorry.
Okay, deal. I'll keep sorry for the real mistakes, but for everything else, I'll try to use thank you.
Good plan. But sometimes the negativity isn't coming from our mouth, it's coming from inside our head.
Ah, yes, the voice inside, the inner critic. That guy is really loud sometimes.
Let's talk about how to handle him in the next section.
Anna, the swap technique is great for talking to other people, but what about the way I talk to myself?
You mean the conversation happening inside your head?
Yes, even if everyone else is nice to me, there's this voice in my mind. We called it the inner critic earlier. It is really mean.
What kind of things does this inner critic say to you?
Well, for example, if I make a small grammar mistake while recording this, the voice says, "Mike, you are terrible. You will never speak English fluently. You are embarrassing yourself."
Ooh, that is harsh. That voice is like a bully living in your brain.
It is. And the problem is, it sounds so real. I believe it.
That's the trick of the inner critic. It pretends to be telling the truth. But Mike, you have to learn to distinguish between a fact and a fear.
A fact versus a fear. How do I do that?
You have to catch the thought and question it. Let's look at your example. You made a grammar mistake. That's the fact. Mike made a mistake. That's true.
Okay, and the rest?
The rest, you are terrible, you will never be fluent. Is that a fact? Can you prove it in a court of law?
No, I guess not. I'm actually getting better every day, so that part is just fear.
Exactly. It's a story your brain invented to scare you. So when you hear that voice, I want you to ask, is this true or is this just my fear talking?
I like that. I need to be a detective with my own thoughts.
Yes, don't just believe everything you think. And there's one more golden rule for this. I call it the best friend test.
The best friend test. What is that?
Imagine your best friend came to you and said, "Mike, I made a mistake at work today." Would you look at him and say, "You're terrible, you're a failure, you should give up"?
What? No, absolutely not. That would be cruel. I would tell him, it's okay. Everyone makes mistakes. You'll do better next time.
Right. You would be kind, patient, and supportive. So why do you talk to your friend like that, but you talk to yourself like an enemy?
Wow, that really hits hard. I'm my own worst enemy sometimes.
You need to start treating yourself with the same kindness you give to others. Be your own best friend, Mike. When you mess up, tell yourself, "It's okay, I'm learning."
It's okay, I'm learning. That sounds much more peaceful than the shouting voice in my head.
It takes practice, but it changes everything. Now, speaking of learning, we've covered a lot of deep concepts today.
We have. My brain is full, but in a good way.
Let's make sure these words stick in our memory. It's time for our vocabulary review. Okay, everyone, we have talked about a lot of heavy feelings today. Now, let's take a deep breath and switch gears. It is time for our calm word tour.
I love this part of the show. It's where we review the key vocabulary so we don't forget it. What is the first word on our list today, Anna?
The first word is the most important one from today's episode, boundaries.
Boundaries. B-O-U-N-D-A-R-I-E-S.
Correct. To review, a boundary is a limit that you set for yourself. It is a line that tells people how they can treat you and what you are willing to accept.
Right. And remember my favorite image. Boundaries are not walls, they are doors. You open and close them to protect your peace.
Exactly. So a sentence example would be, she set a clear boundary by not checking her work email on weekends.
That is a great goal. Okay, what is the second word?
The second word is drained.
Drained. Like when you pull the plug in a bathtub and the water goes away?
Yes, exactly like that. But we use it to talk about energy. To feel drained means to be completely exhausted. It is more than just being tired. It means your battery is at 0%.
I think we all know that feeling. It happens when we give too much to others.
Yes, for example, after saying yes to everyone all day, Mike felt completely drained.
Hey, that example is too real. But yes, that is accurate. Okay, what is our final word for the tour?
The last word is reliable.
Reliable. This is a positive word, right?
It is very positive. A reliable person is someone you can trust. If they say they will do something, they do it.
But wait, Anna, isn't being reliable the same thing as being a yes person?
That is a great question, and the answer is no. You can be reliable and have boundaries.
How does that work?
Being reliable doesn't mean doing everything. It means doing what you promised. If you say no to a party because you are tired, you are still a reliable friend because you are being honest.
I see. So, example sentence, Anna is a reliable friend. I know she is always there for me when it really matters.
Aw, thank you, Mike, and you are too. This vocabulary list feels like a toolkit for a better life. Boundaries, drained, and reliable.
It really is. Keep these words in your pocket this week. Now, sadly, it is almost time to go.
Time flies when we are learning. Let's wrap this up.
This conversation really opened my eyes, Anna. I feel a lot lighter now. It's funny how just talking about these things makes the burden feel smaller.
I am so glad to hear that, Mike. That is the power of honest conversation. But before we go, I want to remind you and everyone listening of something important.
What is that?
You don't have to change your whole life in one day. We talked about boundaries, self-worth, and saying no. It can feel overwhelming.
Right. We don't want to get drained by trying to fix being drained.
Exactly. So let's focus on baby steps. We have a small challenge for our listeners this week.
Ooh, a challenge. I am ready. What is it?
The challenge is simple. Choose one small act of kindness for yourself this week. Just one.
That sounds doable. Can you give us some examples?
Sure. It could be buying your favorite coffee and actually sitting down to enjoy it. It could be taking a 10-minute walk without your phone, or it could be saying no to an invitation so you can sleep early.
I know what I'm going to do. Tonight, I'm going to turn off my phone notifications at 8 p.m. No emails, no messages, just quiet time.
That is a perfect boundary, Mike. I love it.
So listeners, now it is your turn. We want to hear from you.
Yes, please leave a comment down below and tell us, what is your one small act of self-love this week?
Writing it down in the comments is a great commitment. It makes it real. And hey, while you're down there, if you found this video helpful, please give it a huge like.
And don't forget to subscribe to Speak English with Anna and click the notification bell. We have many more conversations coming up to help you improve your English and your mindset.
Thank you so much for spending your valuable time with us today. We appreciate you.
Remember, you are worthy, you are enough, and you are doing great. Breathe in, breathe out, and be kind to yourself.
See you in the next episode.
Bye for now.